Hey, what's up, guys? This is Hemant. Today we're going to learn how to analyze and design a tall building in ETABS. But before that, let me tell you a little about myself. I have completed my BTech from Purnima University, Jaipur, and I have 3 years of on site work experience in the construction industry. I am currently undergoing a course from Skyfi Labs. The name of the course is Structural and Foundation Analysis. In this course, we'll learn to analyze and design tall buildings, seismic structures, and foundation by the help of three softwares, which are SAP 2000, ETABS, and SAFE. So currently, I am doing the assignment for the ETABS software. So without any further ado, let's get started. So before beginning with the software, let's go through the problem statement. So we have a structure which has 23 number of stories, and the stories are divided into different sections which are from 1 story to 8 story, and from 9th to 14th, 15 to 19, and 20 to 23. The dead load for all of the structures is similar, which is 2 kilonewton per meter square, and the live load of the structures varies from 5 kilonewton meter square to 3.5 kilonewton meter square in between these stories. The beams and columns that we have to use are of sizes 500 cross 500, 550 cross 550, 600 cross 600, and the beams are 500 cross 300, 550 cross 350, and 600 cross 400. The concrete grade that we have to select for columns and beams is M40 concrete, and the rebars that are going to be used are HYSD 500 and mild 250 rebar. The slab that we're going to use will be of 150 thickness, and the grade of the slab would be M40. We have to auto draw cladding with the cladding load zero point 0.2 kilonewton per meter, and for the wind load we have to consider parameters in Bangalore. So now let's open the ETABS software. After launching ETABS, we'll go to the file menu and start a new model. Here we'll use the built-in settings where display units are metric SI, steel section database is Indian, steel design code is IS 800 2007, concrete design code is IS 456 2000. And we'll click on OK. We'll use the number of grid lines in X and Y directions as 4, and the spacing in X and Y directions would be 6 each. We'll enter the number of stories as 23, and the typical story height and bottom story height will remain 3 meters. Now we have to go to custom story data. Click on edit story data. Here we'll set different sections as master units. So for that, go to story number 8 and make it a master story. We have to click on the other stories and assign them story number 8 so that they will behave similarly to story number 8. After that, go to story number 14 and make it a master story. All the other stories from story 9 to 14, we will assign them similar properties to story 14. Then we'll go to the story 19th and we'll assign it the master story, and we'll repeat the previous step. Now we'll click on OK. So all our initial settings are done. Make sure that grid only option is selected in the structural objects. Click on OK. So this is the basic grid layout. Now we'll define the material properties. So go on define, click on material properties, go to add new material. The region would be India, material type would be concrete, and the grade of the concrete would be M40. click on OK. Then again click on OK, and we've added M40 as a new material. We also have to add two rebars, that is rebar HYSD 500 and mild 250. So we'll go and click on add new material. We'll change the material type to rebar. We'll change the grade to HYSD 500. We'll click on OK. Again click on OK, and HYSD 500 has been added to the list. Now we'll create another material with mild grade 250. So we have defined all of our materials for this project. We'll click on OK, and this is how you define the material properties. Now we will define the material sections, that is the section properties. For that, go to define, go to section properties and click on frame sections. Here we'll define the beam sections and the column sections. So go on to add new property. We'll select concrete rectangular section. We'll change the name of the property to B 500 by 300. We'll change the material type to M40. We'll change the depth and width of the section as 500 and 300. Then we'll go to the reinforcement section and click on modify / show rebar. Here we will choose M3 design only, that is the beam design. We'll go to longitudinal bars and change it to HYSD 500 and the confinement bar to mild 250. Change the top and bottom bar cover to 25 mm as per the IS code and click on OK. Again click on OK, and we have defined beam section of 500 by 300. Now rather than adding another new property, we'll go to add copy of property, which will use all of the settings of the previous section. We'll just name it again for the new section, that is 550 by 350. You will see that the material type is selected from the previous section. We'll just have to change the depth of the section. That would be 550 by 350. Then click on OK, as the reinforcement show the rebar section were defined from the last property. So we'll click on OK. We'll go to add copy of property again. We'll name the section as B 600 by 400. We'll change the size to 600 by 400 and we'll click on OK. Now we've defined all of our beam sections. We'll go to add new property and define the column sections. Again select the concrete rectangular section. Name the property as C 500 by 500. Choose the material type as M40. Change the section depth as 500 and the width as 500. Go to modify show rebar. Here we will select PM2 M3 design, that is the column design. We'll change the longitudinal bars to HYSD 500, the confinement bars to mild 250. We'll leave all the settings as they are and we'll click on OK. Now we'll click on OK again, and we've defined our first column section of 500 by 500. Go to add copy of property. Change the name of the section to 550 by 550. Change the dimensions to 550 mm and click on OK. We'll make another copy for the column 600 by 600. We'll change the section depth and width to 600 mm and we'll click on OK. So we've defined our beam and column sections. Now we will add a new property for beam auto select and column auto select. So we'll go to add new property. We'll go to the special section and select the auto select section list. Here we have to change the property name to beam auto select. We'll change the auto select design type to concrete, and we are going to select all of the beam sections and we're going to add it to this property. Then we'll click on OK. We will define another property for our column section. So repeat the same process. Change the name to column auto select. Change the property to concrete and add the column sections into this property. Then click on OK. So we've defined all our material properties and all our section properties, and we've also defined the beam auto select and the column auto select. So what the beam and column auto select does is it chooses the best type of section for the project. It helps us in choosing the best section economically, and all of the sections that are listed in the software itself will choose the best section and the best combination of sections so that we can achieve the maximum efficiency and we can have an economic design that will have optimum strength and safety. Now we will define the slab section. To define slab section, go to define, click on section properties, go to slab sections, go to add new property, change the name of the property to slab 150 mm, as the slab that we are going to choose for the structure would be of 150 mm thickness. Change the slab material to M40. Change the thickness to 150. Click on OK. We have defined the slab of 150 mm thickness. Click on OK. After defining all of the structural elements, we'll begin with the drawing of the elements. So we'll go to draw. Before going to draw, we will choose the story 1 by going up and down the list through these arrow keys. We will go to story 1. In the bottom right corner, we will select similar stories. Then we'll go to draw. We'll click on draw beam / column. Here we will choose the quick draw columns. Then we will go to the properties of the object. Here we will change the property to column auto select. Then we will place the columns on the grid line according to the problem statement. As you can see, we have placed the columns from story 1 to story 8 in the grid line. Now we will go to draw and we will choose the quick draw beams option. Alternatively, you can also choose these options from the shortcuts that are given on the left hand side. This is the quick draw beams option and this is the quick draw columns option. So we've selected the beams. Now we're going to change the property to beam auto select. Now we're going to place the beams between these columns by selecting the entire area. As you can see on the right hand side in the 3D view, we have placed all of the beams from story 1 to story 8 and we have chosen the similar stories option. Now we are going to place the floors or the slabs. So you can go to draw floor wall objects. Here we will choose quick draw floor / wall. So we will choose that option. We will choose the property as slab 150 mm, which we defined earlier. We will select the entire area and you will see that slabs are placed in the entire area that we have selected. Now for the next section, we will go to the arrows and we will move up to story number 9. We will repeat the entire process and place columns according to the problem statement. So first we will choose the column quick draw columns option, and you can check that column auto select property has been selected and similar stories has been selected. Now place the columns according to the problem statement. As you can see, we have placed all of the columns on story 9. Now we will choose the quick draw beams option. Click on quick draw beams. Choose the area where you want to place the beams. And as you can see, we have placed the beams. Now we will go to quick draw slab option and we will place the slabs. Now we will move up to story number 14, story number 15. We will choose the quick draw columns and we will place the columns according to the problem statement. Then we will go to the quick draw beams option and we will select the area where we want to place the beams. After that, we are going to select the quick draw floor or slab. We'll place the slab and then we'll move to the story number 19 or story number 20. Then we'll place the columns again according to the problem. We'll select the quick draw beams and we'll place the beams, and then we'll select the quick draw slab and we'll place the slab. Alternatively, you can also use the replicate model in the edit menu, or you can press Ctrl R to replicate. Here you can select a single story, go to one story option, or you can select the area of the single story and go to story mode, and you can select the number of stories where you want to replicate the story that you've selected. So we have successfully drawn the columns, slabs and beams accordingly. So after drawing all of the elements, now we have to assign different loads, that are dead loads and live loads, to the building elements. So for that, we'll go to story 1 and we will select the option of similar stories. But as in the problem statement, the dead load is same for all of the stories, so we will select the all stories option here. Now we will select all of the individual slab shells on story 1. As you can see, when we select all of the shells on story 1, all of the shells above the story 1 to story 23 are selected. Because you have selected maximum number of shells on story 1, the shells that are above these stories would also get selected. Then go to assign menu, go to shell loads and click on uniform. Here you have to select the load pattern name as dead. Change the load value to 2 kilonewton per meter square, as that is the amount of load that we have to apply. Click on apply, then click on OK. As you can see, we have applied 2 kilonewton per meter square of load, dead load, to all of the slab shells. Now we need to apply the live loads, and as you know, the live loads are different for different sections, so we cannot use the all stories option. So we have to choose similar stories. By selecting the story number 1, we will again select all of the shells of story 1. And as you can see, only the story shells from story 1 to 8 have been selected. Now go to assign go to shell loads and click on uniform. Here we will change the load pattern name to live. We will change the value of the load to 5 kilonewton and we will click on apply. Click on OK. We have applied a live load of 5 kilonewton per meter square to stories 1 to 8. Now we will go to story number 9. Make sure that you have selected similar stories option. Select the slab shells of story 9. Go to assign. Go to shell loads, uniform. We will change the value of the load to 4.5. Make sure that the load pattern name is live. Click on apply. Then click on OK. As you can see, we have applied the live load of 4.5 kilonewton per meter square from story number 9 all the way to story number 13. Now go to the next story, that is the story number 15. Select the shells. We have selected the similar stories option. Go to assign, go to shell loads, click on uniform, change the load value to 4 and click on apply. Click on OK. Now we will go to the slab number 20 and we will select the slab shells. Go to the assign, go to shell loads, click on uniform and change the load value to 3.5. Click on apply and click on OK. So as you have seen that we have applied dead load and live load to all of the shells. Now we will apply the cladding loads. So for that we will again go to story 1 and now we will select the external beams on story 1. We have selected all of the external beams from story 1 to story 8. We will go to assign. We will go to frame loads and we will select distributed. Here we will put the load value to 0.2 and we will click on apply. Click on OK. And as you can see, we have applied 0.2 kilonewton per meter of cladding load. We will go to story number 9. We will select the external stories. Make sure that you have selected similar stories option. If it is not showing, you will go to display and click on undeformed shape. And you can see that the similar stories option is visible now. After that, go to assign, go to frame loads, distribute, go to frame loads, click on distributed and apply the load of 0.2 kilonewton and click on apply. Click on OK. Now we will move up to story number 15. We will select the exterior beams again. We will go to assign, click on frame loads, go to distributed and apply the 0.2 kilonewton load. Then we will go to story number 19 or story number 20. Select the exterior beams. Now we will go to assign, go to frame loads, go to distributed and apply the 0.2 kilonewton load. Now, as you know that we don't have any kind of claddings on the roof, or that is the story number 23. So we will delete the loads or cladding loads from story number 23. So go to story number 23 and choose one story option. If it is not visible, go to display and click on undeformed shape. Choose the one story option. Select the beams, only the external beams. Go to assign menu, click on frame loads, click on distributed, and here as you can see 0.2 kilonewton per meter load has been placed. Click on delete existing loads and click on apply. Click on OK. We have deleted the loads that we have applied on story number 23. So we have applied the live loads, the dead loads, and the cladding loads. Now we can go on to the base floor, and here we will select the entire area and we will choose the restraints. So for doing that, go to assign, go to joints, click on restraints, and we will select the fixed restraint. Click on apply and click on OK. So we've chosen the fixed restraints at the base. Now go to slab 1 or story 1. Click on all stories option. Now we will choose the auto cladding option. Go to draw, go to auto draw cladding and click on auto draw cladding. Use the floors option and click on OK. And as you can see, we have created the claddings. So now we have to define the wind load and assign the wind load to the shells. So for that, first go to define, click on load patterns. Here we will define a new load, that is wind load. So type in the name wind, change the type to wind, the auto lateral load to Indian IS 875 1987, and we will click on add new load. So as you can see, we have added the wind load. Now we will modify the wind load. So click on modify lateral load. Here we have to change the wind coefficients and the different factors according to Bangalore. So the wind speed that we are going to use according to IS 875 part 3 would be 33 meter per second. The terrain category according to the IS code would be 3, and the structure class would be C because the height of the structure is more than 50 meters. So the structure class would be C. The risk coefficient and topography will be kept 1 according to the IS code. For the different IS code wind load settings, you can go to the table number 6.2.2.1, table number 4. Now we'll click on OK. So we have defined the wind load pattern. Now we're going to assign the wind load onto the shells. So for that, first we'll go to the elevation option and we'll select A, click on OK, and this is the elevation of the A part. Now we will go to the right hand side bottom corner and we will select all stories option so that we can select all of the shells in all of the stories. Now select the shells. After that, go to the assign menu, click on shell loads, wind pressure coefficients. Here we will change the coefficients. As for the windward sides, the coefficient is plus 0.8. We'll click on OK. Before that, click on apply and then click on OK. So as you can see, we have applied the wind load of 0.8 on the shells. Now we will go to the elevation part B. We will select these shells and we'll apply the same load because A and B, both the sections are in the windward side. So now we will go to the assign menu, shell loads. We'll click on wind pressure coefficient again and we'll apply the same wind pressure. We'll apply the same wind pressure coefficient of 0.8. Click on apply and click on OK. Now we will go to the elevation D, that is the back part of the structure. We'll click on OK. We'll select the shells. We'll click on assign, go to shell loads, and we'll change the wind pressure coefficients to minus 0.25. And this time we'll select leeward or sides and we'll click on apply. Then click on OK. Then we will go to the elevation section C and we'll select the shells and apply the wind pressure coefficients of 0.25, that is negative 0.25, and click on apply. Now for the sections 1 to 4, we have same wind pressure coefficients of minus 0.8. So we will first go to the section 1, we'll select the shells, and now to change the section to 2, 3 and 4, we'll use the arrow keys. This is the section 2, select the shells in the section 2. Select the shells of section 3 and 4 as well. Now we'll go to the assign menu, click on shell loads, wind pressure coefficients, and we'll use the value minus 0.8 and we'll click on apply and we'll click on OK. So as you can see, we have defined the wind loads and we have assigned all of the wind loads to all of the sections and the shells of the structure. So after defining and assigning all of the properties and the loads to the structure, now we're left with the analysis and the design part of the structure. And after the design, we will also do the detailing so that we can get all the detailed sections of the sections that we have created. So first, before going to analyze, we will go to this option which is use extrude view for the frame objects. We will click this, and as you can see on the right hand side on the 3D view, we can see the extruded view of the structure. After this, we will go to analyze and run analysis on the structure. If you've not saved your structure before, please make sure that you save it. After that, go to analyze and click on run analysis. Alternatively, you can use the F5 key on the keyboard to run analysis. So as you click on run analysis, you can see that the software is analyzing the structure and you can see the properties on the bottom tab. So the analysis of the structure is completed. If you want to see the different properties and details of the structure, you can go to any point and right click on your mouse to see the point displacements. You will see these values here. Now after analysis, we will go to the design part. We will go to concrete frame design and we will click on view revise preferences. And here you have to make sure that the design code is selected as IS 456 2000. Then we'll click on OK. We'll again go to the design tab, concrete frame design, and we'll click on start design/check. So as you can see, the software is running the design check on the sections and all of the properties that we have defined earlier. And as soon as the design is completed, we will get the notification about if any frames or sections have failed the design check. So here a tab has opened up which says that the analysis and design section differ for 705 concrete frames. Do you want to reiterate analysis and design again? So what this prompt means that the auto select feature that we used on the columns and the beams has selected the initial section that was 500 by 500 for the column and 500 by 300 for the beams, and 705 of these concrete frames have failed the design check according to the loads that we have applied on the structure. So now the software wants to reiterate analysis by choosing the next higher sections that we've defined in the auto select feature. That would be 550 by 550 for the column and 550 by 350 for the beams. So we'll click on yes, and you will see that the software will change the sections for us, and it will again redesign the structure so that all of the frames can be changed by the new members, and all of the failed members will pass the design check. So as you can see in the bottom tab in the left hand side corner, it says optimizing concrete auto select properties. So it is selecting the section now, and it is checking on the design. If after the design check any more members fail, we can again reiterate. The software will again change the section properties and it will again run the design. So as you can see that we don't have any kind of prompts for any failed members. So that means that the new material sections that we have selected have passed the design check. You can alternatively go to design, go to concrete frame design, and you can click on verify all members passed, and the prompt says that all concrete frames have passed the design check. So we click on OK. So we have successfully analyzed and run the design on the structure. Now we will go to the detailing section, and here we will click on start detailing. So now the software will do the detailed analysis and it will prepare the detailed drawings for us. Here on the left hand side you can see a model explorer. If you don't see a model explorer window, just go to display and click on go to the options, click on show model explorer, and on the left hand side you can see the model explorer has opened up. Here you can see the reports of the project report that we have created. It shows all of the details of the project. It takes some time for the project details to open up because it is a very big data. So the project report has opened up. As you can see, we have the list of tables, the structure data. We have all of the cladding details. We have here the beam and the column auto select and the design features. You can see the forces that we have assigned. You can see all of the details if you want to. The project report is pretty big and it contains every detail. You can also view the summary report of the structure. This is the summary report. It summarizes the report. After the designing is complete, we can go to the detailing tab, click on detail and start detailing. As you can see, the detailing is in progress. And after the detailing completes, we can see all of the drawing sheet components of the beam details and the columns. So these are the rebar details for the concrete beams, and you can also see the details for columns. These are the concrete column details, which shows the number of bars and the spacing and all the dia and the entire details of all the columns from story base to the story 14th. And you can see the next sections of this to till the story 23. So we have completed the design and analysis of the tall building. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please do like the video if you have learned anything from this video. Thank you.